The alpha male of the cheating wife tried to dominate me, came to my workshop to threaten me into accepting the affair, but it was the biggest mistake of his life. My name is Dave, I'm 55 years old, and I own my own auto repair shop, which I built from the ground up. I started working when I was 18, under the guidance of my uncle, and after 7 years, I had saved enough to open my own place. The first few years were tough, but I worked hard to make it succeed. Over the past 30 years, the shop has grown into what it is today. And yes, the shop is my life. I fell in love with Jenny. I met her at a car show while she was still in college. We had an instant connection, exchanged numbers, and agreed to meet up later. Since we lived in different cities, we mostly communicated over the phone. A few months later, we met again, and that time, the visit ended at my place. She was amazing, and what made it even more special was that it was her first time. A few months later, Jenny lost her parents, and her college tuition was suddenly at risk. I knew she was the one for me, so I helped her pay for her studies with the savings I had. She was overwhelmed, started crying, and hugged me tightly. 5 years later, she moved in with me and got a job at a local law firm as an attorney. One beautiful Sunday, we went for a hike. After about 3 hours, we reached the top of a hill with a view of the entire city. Suddenly, Jenny got down on one knee and proposed to me. I was stunned, but I said yes. She gave me a ring and told me that from now on, I was hers forever. We got married 3 weeks later in a small ceremony. The next 20 years of our life were great. We had 2 kids, Maria, 19, and James, 18, who are now living their own lives. Maria is finishing college, and James is the lead guitarist in a local rock band. With both kids grown and independent, I felt content and satisfied with my life. I never had a higher education and was always seen as a rough, simple man. I never cared about that. But that's when Jenny started to change. After 20 years of marriage, I knew everything about her, how she thinks, how she acts, and how she lies. There were many late nights at her new job. She had changed firms about a year earlier, bringing in more money and a lot more glamour. Her new boss was a well-known attorney, famous for his high-profile cases. I never liked him, but I never imagined I'd have to deal with him directly. After watching Jenny's behavior for about 3 months, I confronted her and asked about all her late-night work hours. I'm a calm person, but that day was different. Jenny had never seen my other side. After about 20 minutes of tough questioning, she broke down and admitted she was sleeping with her new boss. I asked her one simple question: why? She said, "You're the same man I married 20 years ago. You never changed or improved. You wear sloppy clothes, look like an ogre, and are an embarrassment in social settings. I want something better, someone I can proudly present to others. You agree with everything I say. You've never taken charge like a true alpha male." I looked at her and said, "You want to leave me after 25 years of loyalty because you can't show me off at your parties? Just because I don't dominate or abuse you, I'm not a good husband? I sent both our kids to college, made sure you became a lawyer, and now I'm not good enough?" That's when she tried to assert herself. "You need to understand this situation and accept it. I'm staying with my new lover, and you have to accept it. If you don't, I'll divorce you and take everything you've ever worked for. I'll take it all from you. I'll drown you in lawsuits until you spend the rest of your life bouncing between court and the streets. And then I'll take your most precious possession, your workshop, the one you built with your own hands. It will be mine." I sat down in my chair and said, "You think you can win an illegal case and take everything from me?" She simply said, "Yes." I laughed and said, "Good luck." She tried to respond, but I didn't let her. I just walked out. The next morning, I saw Jenny, said nothing, and left for work. As soon as I was gone, Jenny called her lover. "Hello, John. What's wrong, sweetheart?" "Something terrible happened. Dave knows about us. He confronted me this morning and I told him everything. This could complicate things. It's not the end of the world, we talked about this possibility." I know we did, but when it actually happened, it hurt. After all, Dave and I were together for 25 years, married for 20, and we raised 2 kids together. What did you tell him? Basically what we agreed on. I didn't even bother trying to lie, you know I'm a terrible liar. I followed the script you suggested and just told the truth, that I'm a successful career woman, a lawyer no less, who's been married to a simple mechanic most of her life. A guy who never tried to improve himself. And for the first time in my life, I wanted to be with an alpha male. Someone who could be my equal, someone who could take charge, not someone who bowed to my every whim at every turn. That's pretty much what I said. I didn't put him down too much. He does have his own business now, and his work supported our kids and me, put them through college, and supported me through law school. It's just that, when we rehearsed, it felt like I deserved someone like you. But when you reminded me of all the emotional and financial support he gave me over the years, it all suddenly felt a little hollow. Do you know what I mean? Did you tell him everything? That if he didn't accept the situation, the firm would back you in the divorce and leave him penniless? Yes, I told him, John. The only problem is, he didn't seem to care one bit about any of it. He just kept repeating that he couldn't believe I was throwing away our relationship after all his loyalty. I have to say, John, that really hurt. I tried to tell him that I wasn't discarding him, I just felt like I deserved more. But I don't think he understood. I don't want to lose him, John. More, Jen? I'm feeling a little insulted here. You told me you loved me. You told me he hadn't taken you to those heights in years. Didn't you say you'd never had anything like what we have in bed? Yes, I said that, John. But I also told you I didn't have much experience when I married Dave. And he's always been so gentle. You're so different, so dominant and demanding. You just took me over completely. Yeah, and I'll keep taking you over, my love. Your husband is just going to have to accept that you've evolved into a new woman now. He lost his top dog status. I'm the alpha male now, and he's going to have to live with that. Still, I'd hate to think I caused the end of my 25-year marriage. You know what? I'm going to draft a few documents and go see him this afternoon. Give me the address of his shop. What kind of documents? Anything you can think of. You know the usual trick we pull on these gullible idiots, restraining orders to keep him away from you, from me, from your house. Papers freezing the company's accounts. That's just the beginning. Flood him with documents he's not qualified to understand or just bluff. Your little hobbyist is about to be taught a very clear lesson on who's the alpha around here. Trust me, sweetheart, when I'm done intimidating him, he'll be begging for whatever crumbs he can get. I don't know if you saw his face this morning, but just imagine what he'll look like later. That afternoon, around 2 p.m., the alpha male came to my shop. Mr. Brown, may I come in? My name is. I know who you are. Well, that saves us some time. I believe Jenny informed you this morning that the arrangement she and I have will continue for the foreseeable future. What she didn't tell you, I believe, is why you're going to allow it. I don't know if you realize, but I own the company Jenny works for. That means I have over 20 attorneys at my disposal, and I can assure you that every one of them was hand-picked for their winning records in court. Over half of them specialize in family law, and trust me, I won't hesitate to use every last one of them against you. This packet is just the beginning. Here's a divorce petition, your wife already signed it. This one is an order freezing your business accounts until the assets can be liquidated under the separation agreement. This one gives you 24 hours to vacate the marital residence. These 4 here are restraining orders, requiring you to stay at least 200 meters away from me, Jenny, her home, and our workplace. You see where this is going, Davy boy? I'm going to tie you up in so much legal red tape that you won't be able to move. Eventually, you'll give up, when you can't even afford to hire the worst lawyer in town. And guess what? The whole time, I'll still be screwing Jenny. I can see you're bigger and stronger than me, but you need to understand, Neanderthals don't rule the world anymore. Brains beat brute force a long time ago. But look, it doesn't have to be like this, Mr. Brown. No way. Let's just keep the status quo, alright? I get her when I want, you get her when she wants you. Just like it's been the last 4 months. Why rock the boat? One day I'll get bored of her, and then she's all yours again, okay? Anyway, I've said what I came to say. Let's face it, if you'd been everything she needed, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? My advice? Just accept it. Embrace it. Use this as an opportunity for self-improvement. And here's a tip, pal, stand up to your wife more. I didn't steal her from you by being charming, I did it by being the alpha and telling her exactly how things were going to be. Just like I'm doing with you. Are you done running your mouth? Not yet. See, like most people in society today, you have no idea what it really means to be an alpha male. And you want a simple mechanic to explain it to you? Go on then, cuck, tell me what it means. Well, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. With that, I took half a step forward and slammed my right fist into his face. There was a satisfying crunch of cartilage and teeth being displaced. John hit the floor, slumped against the garage wall, wearing an expression of absolute shock on what was left of his face. Consider that illustration number 1. Before the pain really set in, I lifted John to his feet only to drop him again with a punch straight to the diaphragm. This time, he curled up on his side, gasping for air. That's illustration number 2. As soon as he managed to breathe, my steel-toed boot came down hard on his outstretched hand, shattering his wrist and several hand bones. A kick to the chest cracked 3 ribs, cooling my rage for the moment. Those would be illustrations 3 and 4. And Mr. Alpha, it would really help if you stopped screaming. I'm trying to teach you something here. Oh, and thanks for making me break my promise to never use violence offensively since high school. I was going to let you walk away from the consequences of Jenny's actions, until you came in here waving it in my face. Even gentlemen have their limits. I pressed my boot against John's throat until he stopped panicking and started paying attention again. Now, back to your education. The term alpha male comes from wolf packs. He's the one wolf who tells all the others what to do. He might not be the smartest or even the biggest, but he's the most ruthless, the one who kills without hesitation. And you, kid, don't even come close. You might be the alpha in your little air-conditioned office world, but out here in the real world, you're nothing but a coward. And I wouldn't go around calling yourself smart either. You didn't even bring a witness, you idiot. Let's consider the possible outcomes here. Option 1, you report this to the police. Maybe they arrest me, maybe they don't. Maybe I get bail, maybe I don't. Maybe they press charges, maybe they fail. Lots of maybes, John. Worst case scenario for me? I get a 5-year crash course in prison, 5 years learning how to hurt people, how to kill, and how to hide a body so it's never found. And when I finish that course, we'll have another conversation just like this one. Or, Chatterbox, you can take this as a learning experience. Something that might happen when you take another man's wife. Now get out of here. I've got some cleaning to do thanks to you bleeding all over the damn floor. And Jesus Christ, are you shitting on my clean workshop floor? Alpha my ass. That night, Jenny called John. John, I'm waiting at the office. I thought you'd be back hours ago. Where are you? I just got admitted to the hospital after 3 hours in the ER. Oh my God, what happened? Were you in an accident? No. I underestimated your husband. I stupidly went to see him alone. He broke my nose, my left hand, some ribs, and possibly my cheekbone. I can't believe it. He's never been violent, not that I've ever seen. Believe me, it's true. I'll show you the X-rays if you want. My God. I just can't believe it. Not my Dave. Is there any way I can stop you from going to the police? We kind of provoked this. As bad as what he did is, Dave doesn't deserve to go to jail over it. The police were already here. I told them I was hit by a driver in a hit and run. Your sweet, gentle husband told me that, as bad as I look now, it's just a preview of what I can expect if I press charges. I'm not taking that risk. I've decided to keep my mouth shut. That sounds a bit cowardly. You sound like you're terrified of him. I just can't believe it. Dave wouldn't hurt a fly. Well, believe me, I've got the broken bones to prove it. I'm just doing what I have to do to survive, Jen. Now I've got to go. They've got me full of painkillers, and they're starting to kick in. The next day, beside John's hospital bed. John, you have to help me. I drove around in circles past 8 p.m. last night. I didn't know if it was safe to go home. I tried calling Dave to ask, but he didn't answer. When I finally got the courage to go back, all the locks had been changed. I couldn't get in. I ended up sleeping at my sister's place. I checked this morning, and all of our bank accounts are empty. None of our credit cards work either. You have to help me. Can you ask one of the divorce lawyers at work to start the process of getting Dave out of the house? Can I stay with you until then? Are you insane? If I use company resources or assets to help you, he'll have every reason to come after me again. In fact, just to play it safe, you're fired, Jen. I'll give you an extra 4 weeks of severance if you pack up and leave today. If you see Dave, could you please just tell him I let you go? Did you not hear me? Dave cleaned me out. No money, no job, and now no help from you. I'm screwed from the start. I'm sorry, Jen. You didn't see your husband's face while he was beating me. I'm just doing what I need to survive. You were pathetic yesterday, bragging about being an alpha male. And today you're trembling, terrified that my husband, who's 10 times the man you are, is hiding under your bed. How could I ever have thought I was trading up? That's beyond me. And you're delusional if you think I was ever serious about someone like you. That same day, Jennifer Brown sat alone in her silent car on the side of the road, her credit cards declined and her cash gone. It was only a matter of time before she ran out of gas. I considered canceling her phone service too. Was I being calculatedly cruel? She was driving toward the town where our 2 kids now lived, looking for a place to land. In all those years, they had never taken more than an hour to reply to her messages. She started calling them just after 10 a.m. Checked again, still nothing. Jenny sighed, grabbed her useless purse, and stepped out of the car. Straightening her skirt, she walked to the roadside and stuck out her thumb. I pulled up in an old van and smiled to myself when I saw the woman alone on the shoulder. I never would have described myself as an alpha male. Even I'm smart enough to know that loners aren't called that. Apex predators hunt alone. I stopped the van near her. She looked shocked. Thought about running, but her body refused. She froze. I got out and told her to get in. We needed to talk. She got in. I told her to get the divorce papers ready, no alimony, no share of my assets. Everything I own stays with me. Everything you own, everything I bought for you, stays with you. You will return all the jewelry I gave you. You can write whatever reason you want for the divorce, I don't care, as long as you're out of my life. You will leave this town once the divorce is final and never look back. You may speak to my children and see them in my absence, if they want to see you. Your things will be packed and ready for pickup from the house at 10 a.m. tomorrow. You will collect them. If they're not picked up by 11 o'clock, they'll be burned. Am I clear? She nodded. I asked when I could expect the papers. She said it would take a week. I told her they better be on my desk in 5 days. She nodded again. I looked at her one last time. She looked like she'd seen a ghost. I smiled, told her to get out, and drove off. The next morning, at 10:30 a.m., she had picked up her belongings. 5 days later, she delivered the papers citing irreconcilable differences. I chuckled a little. Months later, I was a free man. I regret that my marriage ended. I regret that Jenny never understood what it meant to be loyal. I regret that she thought I couldn't change my clothes and become a presentable husband. She didn't understand that a guy who's 6 feet 4 inches could seriously hurt her if he ever tried to dominate her in bed. I would have tried to save my marriage, to talk to my wife, but she chose to threaten me with consequences. For me, that's the point of no return. I'll continue my life alone. And maybe one day, I'll die alone. After all, every apex predator dies alone.
Reddit Relics comment. Wow, this story feels like something straight out of a movie, but it's exactly the kind of thing that pops up on Reddit and leaves everyone stunned. No matter what you think about the husband's reaction, it's clear he sent a message. Betrayal has consequences, and he's not someone to mess with. In the end, every choice comes with a price. So tell me, what would you have done in his place? If you liked the video, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next wild Reddit tale. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.